Working at a vape store definitely has a lot of positives and a lot of highlights, but there are a couple that are lowlights and are kind of irritating, or the TikTok word for it would be icks. Number one is blind brand loyalty, because when it comes to me as a person who vapes, I like to try different things. I like to try different flavors, new brands to see what they got. All the newest, starting from Elf Bar to Orions to Lost Marys to Raz to Geek Bars to Snoopy Smokes. All these newest brands, what they have to offer. There are some people that are hell-bent on staying on one vape, on one flavor, never trying anything else. And it's to the point where it's like, yes, that is your decision as a customer. You like what you like, but when it comes to certain things that we cannot control, it's just a little irritating, and no other vape does it more than Fume. For whatever reason, people who still like Fume to this day will continue to like Fume, and that would be the only thing that they want. Hence why stores like mine might carry the Fume juice to try to get people acquainted with their juice before the disposables all this. Number two is the obvious minor. Whenever they come in and they start acting nervous and start looking at the vapes, asking the number one question that always makes you a bit sus is, which one of these vapes is the best? Because you can ask that question genuinely, and I can tell when you're asking genuinely, but there's a certain way that they say it that automatically pings a red flag. Or whenever I ask for the ID, they try to show me a picture on their phone, or they immediately say their birthday without, giving me any time to say anything. And a lot of times, you can just tell. A lot of times, whenever a customer comes in and they're clearly underage, you can tell. So, number three is just kind of like a personal ick to me. That's when people request or bring in obviously knockoff vapes, or not, at least for me, whenever I do all my research, not trustworthy vapes, because a lot of the vapes that I like to carry have either been reviewed by multiple people, I've reviewed myself, or have a website where you can check out all their specifications, quality control, stuff like that. They'll bring in obviously knockoffs, and they're like, this is great, you guys should have this. And my answer to that is no, because of certain aspects, whether I've looked into it myself, my boss has looked into it, or newer vapes come out all the time, so I try to do my research. But if there's barely any reviews or barely any research and I can't verify it, odds are probably not going to happen. Number four, when brands that we buy or stuff that we put on our shelves are shitty. And that's just something that happens when it comes to Orions, Elf Bars. A lot of them, if you hit them, they can either keep going, they don't work, the typical duds. Those are some of the worst experiences, because some people are cool about it and they understand the whole aspect of certain things happen, we can't really control that. And then there's the people who don't, and you have to sit for a long time debating whether or not you're going to refund them or just give them a brand new vape. Plus, it makes the store look bad and makes me feel bad, because I don't like selling bad products, and for multiple, we just stopped carrying it. And that's why some vapes we're not going to carry on our shelves ever again, because of the consistent issues about it. And the final one, the final ick, is when a 40 to 50 year old person comes in with a obvious not that age of 21, and they still try to buy them something, as if magically, because the 40-year-old, they're buying it, I can give them the vape. No, I cannot. If there is a person with you in the vape store that is under 21, I cannot sell to you. Doesn't matter how many verbal gymnastics you try to give me, it's not going to happen. Stop asking. I've gotten this more times than you would think. And it's always the same rigmarole with what they say. Well, I'm buying it for them. Well, if they didn't come in, you still would have sold to me. Yes, but then I wouldn't have the knowledge that I'm selling to a minor. If I know that I'm selling to a minor, I'm not going to do it. Simple. Unfortunately, some things can happen. People come in, they buy certain items, and it may go to whoever. But that's out of our control. If you are in my store and you have a minor with you, I'm not going to sell it to you. And I don't think any respectable business would sell it to you. And a lot of times, you can even call the cops on something like that. So, no. I'm not going to be part of getting a $5,000 fine, the store I work at being shut down. It's just not worth it. It's just not. But other than that, customers, working with them, trying to find them the best vape, it's always great. But, you just have those little customer service moments that remind you that you're in customer service. And of course, I have more that I could spout out. Let me know if you guys want a part 2. Love y'all.